Hey Aries, it's Caleb's Tarot. Happy New Year, you guys. Right then, we're doing your 1st to the 15th of January 2020 reading. I have pre-shuffled and dealt the cards. Hope you guys don't mind. Right then, top row is where you've come from. It's your recent past. It's what's probably gone on in anything up to the last year. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and the Ten of Cups reversed. So this, for a lot of you, is... I want to say, especially with the 8 of Cups clarifying that 10 and the 2 of Swords, you guys must have had such a difficult decision about walking away from a family unit. And this was not an easy decision in the past at all. And deep down you knew it was the right decision for you to make. It's almost like there was something missing in your life and you had to leave that dynamic. And I feel for a lot of you, this involved a physical move to somewhere else. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm getting a hint of homesickness from this reading. I don't know whether that be intuitively or it's just an overwhelming feeling of being homesick. But for those that haven't physically moved, maybe it's a person that you've had to walk away from, and that person felt like home to you, and it's just that person that you're so desperately missing. So in the last, in the past, I'm seeing some of you moving away from like a home or from like a person that feels like home. And maybe it's the time of year it's really starting to get to you. Maybe some of you really want to go home, or have wanted to go home for the holidays and it's just not been possible. Coming into the now, I've got the 5 of Cups with the Queen of Wands. At the end of the day, yes, you're very concerned, I always say with the 5 of Cups, it's not what don't cry for what you've not got. Cry for, be grateful for what you have got, because there's 3 spilt cups, but there's still 2 standing. And I always say with that card, when it shows up, be grateful for what you've got rather than what you haven't. And the Queen of Wands, you're doing the right thing for you at the end of the day. And you've got your reasons. You had your reasons. And I just don't feel like now is the time for any regrets. At the centre of your reading is the Queen of Cups. So I don't know if there's a water sign, and maybe even a fire sign involved somewhere, but more so water. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. This Queen is so emotionally nurturing and ready. This is someone who knows their worth, knows their value. If you take on the energy of the Queen of Cups, you are so confident of what that cup means and what it means to give it to someone. It's almost like a gift. So if I give you this cup, this is everything that I am emotionally. This is a massive privilege. So I love the emotional attitude about what's going on here, Aries. And then we'll move to the 4 of Swords reversed, clarified with the 8 of Swords. I think you're being very over-analytical about what it's that you need to let go. I think we're overthinking things. I think it's starting to drive you crazy a little bit. And you're starting to, it's a mental entrapment card, isn't it? But with the 4 of Swords in the reverse, you're over-analysing what it is that you need to lay to rest. So there's definitely something tugging on your heartstrings in tandem with the Queen of Cups. There's something tugging on your heartstrings that you are emotionally invested in. Because don't forget, the Queen also represents emotional investment. There's something that you're emotionally invested in that you've walked away from. And you have to lay it to rest, but you just don't know whether or not it's the right thing to do. Moving forward, I dare say it, are some of you guys really sad about a mother, or if you're the mother and there's a child involved, or is it your mother? I'm starting to wonder if someone's really concerned about mum's health. Alright, I'm getting a message through here, guys. This doesn't happen very often. Right, just listen. Someone who's watching this their mum. Ill health, surgery looming. There's a lot of fear and anxiety about this surgery, whether it's how the surgery goes or whether or not you're going to be there to help them recover, whether you can be there to help them recover. Again, I like the fact that the Empress is there, clarifying all of this. Aries, it's like a reminder to say, you know, if it's, you know, your mum needs surgery. I don't know who I'm speaking to here. If your mum's in ill health and needs surgery and you sort of don't know whether you can go back or not, someone needs to hear this. You know, she nurtured you growing up through youth. Is it time for the flip, where the youth nurture the old and look after the old? Is it time for the flip? That saying will ring true for somebody watching this. But anyway, moving on. I've got a whole other message coming through here. Someone watching this is the mother, and right, I'm talking to two separate people here. That's, oh good God, I don't know what spirits I've got in this fucking room at the minute, but it's crazy. Right, there's the message for one about their mother, but then I've got a completely separate message here to somebody watching this who is a mother, and you are a single parent and you're concerned about surgery. You may not have anybody to look after the child. The child's young. The child's no older than 6. Listen, you've got friends. You've got friends that you can rely on. You've got somebody around you that you can rely. This is somebody who's very isolated that I'm talking to, and they're not being straight up with me about who this is. You've moved to a place where you're very isolated and you may have to have surgery and you're concerned for the child. Listen, you've got friends that you can rely on. You've got somebody that can help you. You just need to ask. Don't let pride get in the way. You need to ask. Okay. Right. Okay. So, moving forward, I've got the 3 of Cups reversed, Justice reversed, and the Queen of Swords reversed. So, the Queen of Swords in the reverse, that ignorance is bliss. If we don't acknowledge it, it'll go away. Guess what? It won't. And that's where you need to take the level of control off of this. Maybe you've got too much control over ignorance. It's time to lift the ignorance and actually start to see reality for what it really is. If you have walked away from a relationship dynamic, there may have been cheating going on, with the 3 of Cups being in the reverse. So you need to accept that you're in a much better place than you were. For others that, you know, are missing family and friends, yes, it's not fair, but at the end of the day, the 3 of Cups in a friendship term, because it is a friend card, if it is in the reverse, it'll be down to your own doing. So maybe it's just an indication that you need to make more of an effort with friends and family, especially if there is distance in the way. You know, somebody's got to make effort. And it's all right. And also with the Queen in the reverse, I feel a lot of petty communication, like, oh, if they're not going to reach out, why the fuck should I? The key thing that you need to understand and accept, Aries, with that, is that it is the wrong kind of attitude. If they're not going to get in touch, why should I? It all depends on whether you really want that person in your life. Because if you really want them in your life and you really miss them, you'll get in touch regardless. You'll make effort regardless. So, you know, some things that have been nurtured, it would be such a waste just to get rid of it like that. You know what I mean? I think this is about finding your passion and what you've walked away from. Or what you've had no choice but to walk away from. Being more grateful for what you've got rather than what you haven't. And that's what this entire reading boils down to, Aries. being grateful for what you've got rather than what you haven't, and treating emotional investments as for the value that they truly are. What you have to give is amazing, so don't go giving it to those that don't deserve it. Give it to those that do. Alright, I'm going to have to leave that there. I know this was a bit wish-wash and all over the place, but when Spirit sort of steps in like that, I kind of don't have much control over it myself. I hope that this helps at least some of you moving forward. It won't resonate for all of you, so don't bitch in my fucking comments. I can't stand it. And it's emotionally draining what I do as it is to be sifting through, deleting bullshit. Just have respect for those that are going through this, you know what I mean? Because it's not always nice. And when they hear people in the comments saying, that's not my situation, it's like, oh, for God's sake, as if they want to be reading that. Anyway, I'll leave it there. If anyone does want a personal reading, if you are going through this and you just want some insights or a little bit of help from, you know, someone who clearly, you know, I get it, I understand completely. Life can sort of just take you off in different directions, then we just don't know how to make amends again. If you just need a bit of help with that and you just want to, you know, a reading just to sort of elaborate a bit further on where it could go, any predictions, whatnot, drop me an email. I'm taking bookings from the 2nd. I'm starting to fill up a bit, so, you know, if you want a reading within the next week, I suggest you get them in quickly. Because over like the 2nd, 3rd and 4th, like I say, I'm starting to fill up, but I've got a couple of slots spare. Right, I'll leave that there, you guys. I wish you all the best, and I'll be back on or around the 15th. Take care, bye for now.